with all of them. With an as-sarf, mostly it's a fi'l that we'll be dealing with. Okay. The next thing we talked about was the classification of nouns and verbs based on different aspects. The first thing was, before that, was we used fa, ayn, and lam to find the root letters, the original root letters. And if you have a noun or a fi'l, an ism or a fi'l, using fa, ayn, lam, we find the root letters, and the things that are not against fa, ayn, lam will be extra. For example, in qara'a, this is fa, ra is called the ayn of qara'a, and this hamza is called the lam of qara'a. So if you have, for example, a word derived from qara'a, for example, al-qari, the reader, we have this, then you will know that the root letters here are the ones that are against fa, ayn, and lam. Which ones are they? Ra, and the hamza. Yeah, is just a placeholder. So the hamza is ra, and hamza are the root letters. This alif is extra. This alif and this lam are also extra. So fa, ayn, lam shows us the root letters of the word. So based on those root letters, then we have the following classification of ism, fi'l, and not half, just ism, fi'l. The ism has these categories: al-thulathi, al-ruba'i, and al-khumasi. Okay? Thulathi, al-ruba'i, and al-khumasi. We didn't talk about these names, but we talked about them having 3 letters, 4 letters, and 5 letters. So al-ism can have 3 original letters, 4 original letters, or 5 original letters. Examples would be Zayd. Zayd is an ism which has 3 original letters: za, ya, and that. Al-ruba'i is like Ja'far. Ja'far has 4 original letters: Jim, Ayn, Fa, Ra. Khumasi is like Safar, Jal. Safar, Jal has 5 original letters. Okay, so al-ism can have these 3 possibilities. Okay? Al-fi'l, on the other hand, can have only 2 possibilities: al-thulathi and al-ruba'i. There is no khumasi fi'l, so it's not 5 original letters. So examples of those would be sami'a and dahraja. 3 original letters: C, D, 4, Dal, Ha, Ra, and G. So this is the category based on the number of letters. The other category that we went over was based on, of al-fi'l, was based on the voice or the mood, and that is al-ma'ruf and al-majhul. Al-ma'ruf is where the doer of the action is mentioned. Al-majhul is where the receiver of the action is mentioned as the subject. So an example of that would be, again, qara'a, he read, and quri'a, it was read. That's an category. Yes, another category is al-lazim al-muta'addi. Al-muta'addi. And al-lazim is where it's intransitive. No object needed. It does not require an object. Al-muta'addi requires an object. It's called transitive verb in English. It requires an object. Like qara'a, he reads something, so that requires an object. Qara'a zaydun kitab. And al-lazim would be when it doesn't require that, like qala, or not qala, qama, he stood up, or jalasa, he sat. So this is another category, and the previous category of al-ma'ruf and al-majhul depends on this. If a fi'l is al-lazim, you cannot make majhul for it. Because majhul means you put the object in place of the subject, right? Put the object in place of the subject. But since al-lazim has no object, you cannot make majhul for it. There is no object for an intransitive verb. But if it is al-muta'addi, which means it requires an object, then you can make a majhul for it, and you can put the object in place of the subject. Right? So far so good? Any questions? The next thing to worry about is now we know that the verb or fi'l will have either 3 letters, root letters, or 3 root letters, or 4 root letters. So for 3 root letters, we have different forms, and for 4 root letters, we have different forms, for past and future present. And that's what we'll do next. For al-thulathi, this we're talking about al-fi'l, right? Fi'l al-thulathi, 3-letter fi'l will have this form for the past. For the past, it will have this form. The past is called al-madi. It will have the form of 3 letters. It will have 1, 2, 3. 3 letters in a row. The first one will have a fatha and the last one will have a fatha. The middle one we don't know. And this will be for the past, singular, masculine, third person. The third person singular, masculine will have this form, and we use that as a sample because that's in its purest form without any additional letters. It just has the root letters. It doesn't have anything else in it. So the past will have this form. And an example of that would be